Let's go. It's game week, opening week of the 2015 season. In August, you pay the piper, and the piper can be demanding and unforgiving. But pay him in full, and the dividends he pays back in December will be priceless. On August 19th, everyone's undefeated. Everyone wins. At least they believe they do. And believing is part of the battle. In addition to another. Enough? Shoot! Good, better. It's time to be true to your school. High school football and the Friday Night Blitz are back.
Are you ready for some football, high school style? It's time for the Friday Night Blitz 2015 preview show. Here's ABC 3340 Sports Director Mike Raita.
Welcome everybody to Hoover High School, home of the 7A defending state champion. We have gathered all four of the defending state champions from our viewing area here tonight. The MAPLESVILLE Red Devils from Class 1A. In 3A, the LEEDS Green Wave. In 6A, the CLAY-CHALKVILLE Cougars. And in 7A, the Hoover Buccaneers. We will be hearing from the bands and the cheerleaders throughout this program tonight because both mean so much to the Friday night game day experience. You know, last year was a season to remember. And we'll start with the defense. I'm joined now by the head coach of the Green Wave, Etheredge, for being here with your team. Man, you have got some star power on your team. The quarterback, to Daryl Marshall. You got the running back, Trey Nation. What is the expectation after last year for this year?
We always go in with the expectation to go 15-0, win the state championship.
That's a pretty bold expectation, but I guess you've got to shoot for the stars.
Absolutely.
All right, let's talk about 4A. You're the state champion in 4A. You got such an explosive ball club. Do you ever wonder how you can do against the 5A and the 6A programs?
We got some 5A schools on our schedule. We don't have any 6 or 7A schools. The number of games starts catching up with you when you get that size. So,
what's your biggest concern heading into this season?
Just staying healthy and depth, you know.
You sound like a coach. No other concerns?
No, just, doing what we do and not worrying about the, opponent, just doing what we do.
If I'm not mistaken, LEEDS football in 1923.
Yes, sir.
But you didn't have a double-digit win season until your third season at LEEDS, and you won the state championship that year. How have you been able to kind of build this program and make it such a power?
Just kids deciding they wanted to work and put in the time, and I've got a great coaching staff, and we have a fantastic community, and it's a total team effort in LEEDS.
I mentioned a couple of guys off the top to Daryl and Trey. Just tell me a little bit about them. What such good players, and off the field as well.
Great guys off the field. Great teammates. both of them are a little different. It's sort of like thunder and lightning. You know, Trey's a more power guy, you know, runs in between the tackles, real hard nose. Tadero's got great speed. He thinks the game, you know, so makes good decisions, and, you know, it helps in big situations.
You're going to open the season in the Champions Challenge down in Montgomery against 3A state champion Madison Academy. Do you like to have an opener like that to start the season?
I think it gets you focused on the little things. You know, I think you have to do the little things well if you're going to beat a team like Madison Academy. And, you know, open it up with a real good opponent, you know, I think it sort of gets you focused on the small things.
Let's welcome Jeff Speegle to the program.
Yes,
you want to?
Yes, sir.
Jeff and I have been doing the Friday Night Blitz. This will be our 20th season together. And, Jeff, you got a couple of players with you. Who are they?
I do. I have Tadero Marshall and also Michael Rankins here with me. And let's start with TD. You've been playing quarterback since you were in the 9th grade. What does that do for your confidence level and comfort level?
It feels great, really. You know, coming before practice, after practice, just working with the younger guys, getting used to the technique, you know, making sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, especially me.
And Michael, last year you shut out Deshler 30-0 in the title game. That was 4 shutouts in the playoffs. Talk about how much pride you take in your defense.
Yeah, our defense is like our game. Our coaches spent about 10 hours in one day breaking down film for us to be in the best position possible. So when we walk on the field, our goal is to not let you score. And if you can't score, then you can't win. And so that worked out for us in the playoffs.
Thanks a lot, guys. Good luck this season. And Mike, the gold standard is the 2008 defense. They have opponents to 6 points that year.
All right, terrific. Thanks, Jeff, and we'll be seeing more of Jeff throughout the program. So Leeds are the defending 4A state champions. They're the preseason numbers 1, favorite to win it all again, but the rest of the state isn't just going to lay down. Here is Joe Whelan with a look at some of the other contenders.
Well, Mike, the two teams that figure to be the biggest challengers to Leeds title defense this fall both happen to region champs a year ago and win with the offense, but they can also play defense, led by D. Knowles, a lineman on his way to Mississippi State. The Cordova Blue Devils finished region runner-up to the Tigers, but are 2 spots ahead in the preseason polls, 3rd. Cordova will have a new quarterback, Reed Robertson, who will likely replace the departed Chase Trotter, and he'll rely heavily on Noah Ard, who had more than 1,000 yards receiving last season. A second tier of contenders would include another pair of region foes, Sacs and Cleburne County. The Wildcats have established themselves as a perennial playoff team season 4 straight years, and the Tigers, region champs last year, have used their upset loss to Cordova in round 2 of the playoffs to fuel off-season workouts. Looking at the preseason top 10, UMS Wright was the only team other than Leeds to receive a first-place vote this fall. There you see Cordova Fayette County at 3 and 5, and Deshler, which lost to Leeds in the championship game, is 8th. Strawn rounds things out.
Thank you, Joe. So that's what it looks like in 4A. Coming up on the Friday Night Blitz preseason special, the CLAY-CHALKVILLE Cougars are ready to defend their 6A state championship. We'll hear from them. And later, we'll look back at 19 years of the Friday Night Blitz. It wasn't always pretty, but it sure was fun. Now, here are the Leeds cheerleaders to take us to the commercial break. With the mustache and the unruly locks, but I won't go there. But so maybe
we're the home of the green and the white. We're green and white. We're green and white. We're LEEDS. We're green and white.
direction of Joel Henson. How many members are in your band, and what is the theme of your show this year, Joel?
We got 175 strong, Mike.
And the theme of your show?
Little something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue, from Elvis to Bruno Mars.
Man, I like it. Great sound. We appreciate you being here tonight. All right, 2 of the 4 teams that are here tonight went undefeated on their run to the state title. The Clay-CHALKVILLE Cougars are one of them. How about those Cougars? 15-0 last year. Head coach Jerry Hood joins me now. And Jerry, 15-0, how in the heck do you improve on perfection?
Well, last year's team had a tremendous year. We're very proud of what they did, but we understand this is a new year. Thus far, we've accomplished nothing, so we're ready to get started.
Man, you were an offensive juggernaut last year. A school record, 731 points. That's 49 points per game. 3 guys on offense have SEC offers right now. I guess your job is just to not screw it up.
Yeah, we just want to make sure. That's right. You're exactly right. Well, I've got a great group of assistant coaches that get the kids in the right place. And then God gave them a lot of talent. So, you know, you don't have to be a genius to coach kids that are this talented. My job really is to keep their head where it needs to be and, you know, just keep them focused on improving every day.
I love the slogan on the back of your T-shirt. Tell me about it. All gas, no brakes.
Well, they come out in the summer and started hollering bad boys because they watched 30 for 30 or something. So we got rid of that, and one day we were at the passing camp and somebody hollered out, all gas, no brakes. So I looked it up, and it wasn't too terrible of a rap song, so we put it on the back of the shirt and used it.
You know, I mentioned your offense, but your defense also gave up a school record 327 points. And I know that didn't sit well with the coaches, and I know it didn't sit well with those defensive players, did it?
No, it didn't. You know, we were talking earlier about our size last year was a lot different. We had a lot of kids playing a little bit out of position. You know, you go 15 games and that kind of deal, and you get so far ahead, and the other kids get to time, so you don't give up a few more in the state championship game by getting a stop at the end. And so, you know, they accomplished a lot as well. And
you're right, that stat is a little misleading because you were ahead big in so many games.
Right.
Let's welcome back Jeff Speegle to the program. And Jeff, you're standing by with a couple of guys. Who do you have with you?
We've got wide receiver TJ Simmons over here. We've got defensive end Cole Baker right over here. And TJ, we'll start with you. You, Ty Pigram, Nico Collins, all have SEC offers on the table, scored all those points. What are your expectations this year for the offense?
Our expectation is always to get better the next day. So this season, we're going to try to do better than we did last season. And us coming back, having others coming back is going to be great for a lot of we got a lot of experience on the field this season, so that's going to be great for us this year.
That's awesome, TJ. Thanks. All right, Cole Baker, how motivated are you to kind of raise the level on the defense?
Our whole defense is real motivated. Our coaches come out every day, and, you know, us returning only 2 starters, we have a lot of veteran guys filling in our spots, and we're just ready to play.
Should be another good year for the Cougars. Mike, back to you.
How about my boy TJ coming through in the clutch, huh? He regrouped, didn't he? All right, TJ. You know, they say it's harder to stay on top than it is to get on top, and in no class was true than in Class 6A. Here's Stu McCann.
Gardendale coach Matt Plunkett has started referring to the Rockets' home field, Driver Stadium, as the launching pad. It's appropriate because the team is talking like one that's ready to take off on a championship run.
Little slogan I like is they remember what you do in November and December, you know, and we want to have that mentality here at Gardendale because that's when the real season.
That could be the real slogan. Gardendale and the Homewood Patriots start the year in the top 10, and the Minor Tigers make a case too or seniors.
I want that, we have region champs, want to be region champs again, and, we want to take it a step at a time. And then after that, we want to be state champs.
The MCADORY Yellow Jackets go into the season ranked 5th, and they've done all there is to do except take state. They've won 10 games in 9 of the last 11 years and captured 3 straight region titles.
Tired of area title. I'm really more of a state guy myself. State has always been my dream.
Much bigger goals and much standards. We tired of doing the area champ. We've been doing that a lot, but it's time to step it up and go ahead and get state. So our standards is big this year.
Let's take a look at the preseason top 10. Spanish Fort was the only other team than CLAY-CHALKVILLE to receive a first-place vote. MCADORY is in at 5. Jeremy Johnson's alma mater, Carver, is 8th, followed by Homewood and Gardendale.
All right, thank you. Thanks a lot, Stu. We still have 2 defending champs to talk to tonight, the Hoover Buccaneers and the Maplesville Red Devils. But next, as we head into the 20th year of the Friday Night Blitz, we sure have made a lot of memories in those first 19 years. And now, here are the CLAY-CHALKVILLE cheerleaders to take us to
week
break.
2 of the Friday Night Blitz. Mike Raita, along with Jeff Speegle and Jeff tonight.
65 others.
Welcome, my chopper.
Cougars, fans, you know you should yell it like a Cougar would. Yell, go! Cougars, come on, go! Cougars, go!
I can't tell you how special it is to have all of you here tonight to help us bring the 20th year of the Friday Night Blitz to you. I started covering high school football in the Birmingham TV market in 1989, 26 years ago. That means those seniors I covered that year are now 44 years old. Every so often, I'll run into one of those guys. How come they've aged and I haven't? I doubt I'll still be doing the Blitz when you're 44. At least, I hope I'm not. All right, 19 of those 26 with ABC 3340, all those 19 years. And Jeff, we want to look back at those first 19 years. How many days, hours did you spend looking at the old shows?
It was more like days, Mike. But I loved every minute of it. Well, almost every minute. Because as you know, it hasn't always been pretty, but it's always been a lot of fun.
Now, here's the ABC 3340 sports team with your Friday Night Blitz.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 2 of the Friday Night Blitz. Mike Raita along with Jeff Speegle. I'm Mike Raita, joined as always by Jeff Speegle.
I'm Jeff Speegle. He's Mike Raita. Has it really been 20 years? The time has flown by as fast as a Brandon Brooks kick return.
And then he's vapor.
What a ride it's been. We've seen some jaw-dropping plays. Kicks. Oh, catches! Holy cow, it's a soccer play.
That's awesome.
Coming down with a football. Some bone-crunching hits. Incredible talent.
Tyler Watts, 16 yard to Hill.
Brody Croyle at quarterback. He's so good at throwing on the run, and he hits Brandon Greer.
Chris Smelly chucking the ball right here, connecting to Rick Spivey.
Chad Jackson, that kid's a burner.
It is Amir Abdullah for the touchdown.
How dare you?
The Golden Child is his Twitter handle, man, and he was golden tonight. Look at that. Human highlight film there. Rock Thomas, guys.
Jameis J.B. Winston, quarterback, Hewlett High School.
Daddy in the stands, cheering my name, man, no lie here. Let's go, Jameis, man.
The Friday Night Blitz was created to be informing. 338-12, they've outscored the opposition.
Congratulations, Mike Battles, on win number 100.
And entertaining. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Mr. Entertainment, Mikey Baby.
Show us your game face.
It does make a difference when you have the hair.
For 18 of the previous 19 seasons, a popular staple of the show was the Chopper Blitz. Mike would fly an Airlink 3340 to 2 games every Friday.
They call it the Clay Bowl, the 100th meeting.
The flight plan always included a lot of football highlights.
And he bounces outside 5, 10, 15, 20. Vapor, 67 yards.
A little comedy. A little dancing. On a few of those chopper rides, Mike's trusty dog Sadie would fly with him.
Sadie, who's going to win? Watch out for those tigers.
A couple of times, his dad from Arizona tagged along to keep him in line.
Oh, man!
All the cheerleaders love Mikey, baby, and so do the grandmas.
Young stud.
I'm a young stud.
A Raider red highlight usually comes with a nickname.
Well, everybody's eyes are on number 21, Matt Campbell. Good. Good. That's what Mr. Mack is. Good. Woo-hoo! 21 yards for the BT Express. Brandon Carnathan, the round mound to touchdown.
Some nicknames stick better than others.
Cadillac Carnell Williams. Look at the Cadillac from the 21, finds some room and then explodes, puts it in overdrive. Diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster lean. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You know, I call you Cadillac, you know that, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, are you a Coupe de Ville, a Sedan de Ville, an Eldorado? What kind of Cadillac are you?
Them sound smooth.
To Will the Thrill Loper, the Blitz boy. He imparted his wisdom on the show for 4 seasons. If you listened closely, he sounded like Mikey, baby.
But we can always stand to see a few more cute cheerleaders. Take it from me, having a ball is better than being above.
In 2009, we got into the hardware business, handing out a Player of the Year trophy. That year, it went to Cherokee County's Cody Blanchard, who a year later led JSU to an upset win over Ole Miss. And through the years, we've seen a lot of Blitz alumni go on to do greater things.
And the winner is Jameis Winston, Florida State University.
We've covered some great teams. The 1996 Fayette County Tigers finished a perfect season in not-so-perfect conditions. Cool Hand Luke Tucker was the quarterback, his dad Walden the coach.
And let me see you give your son a hug over there.
I think I will. I tell you, I'll hug them all tonight.
How about some love for Danny Horn's Clay County Panthers? We've covered 4 of their 6 state championships. Take your pick of the Hoover State champs. Rush Probst coached 5 of them. They've won 4 under Josh Niblett. Bob Newton had an amazing run at Homewood, winning 5 state titles. We've seen Keith Etheredge and the Leeds Green Wave win 3 state titles. Jerry Hood's 2014 CLAY-CHALKVILLE Cougars were perfect. So were the 96 Maplesville Red Devils, coached by Jim Hubbert, and the 2014 Devils, coached by Jim's son Brent. We look forward to year 20, more touchdowns and trophies. We've got spirit. How about you? Mike, a lot of great games, a lot of great players, and I couldn't help but notice when the Blitz boy was on, the cheerleaders were like, oh, how cute. He's still a big hit.
You know, I figure in these 19 years, I've covered about 400. Apologize to all the kids' names. Before we move on, let's meet the 4 cheer coaches that are here tonight. And when I call your name, first to McGee and Lacey Wallace. At Leeds, Miriam Turner's the coach. Kaylee Whitson and Sydney St. John are the captains. At CLAY-CHALKVILLE, Coach Chrissy Fowler and Zariah Robertson and Rebecca Sewell are the captains. And at Hoover, the coach is Mary Glenn Freeman and a Thigpen. Abby Elsey and Akimra James are the captains. Ladies, we appreciate you and your squads being here tonight. You really bring a lot of spirit, not just to this program, but to your teams every Friday night. Coming up, we'll hear from the Maplesville Red Devils, looking to build on their 2nd state title in school history. They're loaded again. And later, the Hoover Bucks, who take a back seat to no one in the nation in terms of excellence year to year. Stay with us. Thanks to the Maplesville cheerleaders, and last year they had a lot to cheer about. The Red Devils went 15-0 on their way to the 2nd state title in school history. joined now by Brent Hubbert, the head coach of the Maplesville Red Devils. Boy, you are a senior-loaded team. How important is their leadership?
It's been big in the you come off 15-0 state championship. You don't need a whole lot of coaches because those guys are doing it for you on the field. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, but they're getting the job done.
How big of a problem is depth in 1A?
For us in the past 10 years, we haven't had a big problem with depth. We've got 70 kids, 7 through 12, which is great numbers for us when we only have 100 kids in the top 3 grades. This year, depth could be an issue. We got to stay healthy.
You've got 37 straight region victories. Do you think about that at all do you talk about that at all with your team?
I really didn't know it till you just said it, so I don't guess so. We just, you know, go out each week and prepare, like every other coach has said, take care of ourselves and hope that's good enough.
Well, you got some really good players. That makes your job easier, just like Jerry Hood said.
That's right, sure does.
All right, Brent, thanks a lot. Let's go to Jeff Speegle now, who's with a couple of those outstanding young men and players.
That's right, Mike. We have quarterback Cole Spencer right here. We also have linebacker Corey Hall to my left. And Cole, let's start with you. They're crazy about football in Maplesville. Talk about what Friday nights are like in Red Devil Stadium.
Well, you know, we're probably the smallest team here, so Friday nights, other people from out of town probably wouldn't expect much from Maplesville, but really the whole town, the whole community comes out, supports us, and running through that banner and onto the sideline, hearing everybody scream, it's a feeling like no other.
Yeah, it's an awesome thing. All right, Corey, you outscored opponents on an average of 49-7 last year. You not only beat people, you dominated people. How much is domination talked about when you talk about the defense?
That's 24/7 when we're around the coaches. We go by, defense goes by principles. First principle is discipline, relentless effort, all 11 to the ball, all 11 with motor, and we just eat every day, every play. We trying to feed our family, so that's how we do it.
Hey, thanks, guys. Here's how dominant they've been, Mike. The last single-digit win they had, 2013 against Sweetwater.
Jeff, I believe because they are so dominant, everybody else in 1A is playing for second place. In Class 1.
Of a 7th class is diluted to Maplesville, though. They're the real spot.
Let's go!
The Hubbertville Lions were 13-0 last season before falling to Maplesville 49-0 in the title game. The wild card for Hubbertville getting back to the finals this year, Dax Benton, an all-state running back last year who may see time at quarterback for the Lions' wing T attack. Benton rushed for almost 2,000 yards last season. The Donahoe Falcons also had a great year last year, 11-1, but they have to replace playmaker Justin Foster, a talent you only see every once in a while. Look for the Ragland Purple Devils to push for the top spot in Region 5. Ragland hasn't missed the playoffs since 2000. Stoney Merritt emerged as a passing threat in 2014. He'll look to give the Purple Devils an offensive identity that matches their well-known defensive prowess. Let's take a look at Class A's top 10. It goes Maplesville, Brantley, Hubbertville as your top 3 teams to start the year. Over at Spring Garden, junior Ben Ivy returns for his second year as the Panthers' starting quarterback. Cedar Bluff bounced back into the postseason last year after missing out in 2013, making a run all the way to the 3rd round. And don't count out Marion County. The Red Raiders fell just short of the title game last season.
All right, thanks a lot, Seth. It's time now to hear from the pride of the Green Wave. It's the Leeds High School Marching Band. Take it away. Big sound from that band. They're under the direction of Chip Wise. And Chip, how many members are in your band? And what's the theme of your halftime show this year?
Well, Mike, we're marching 87 students this year, and our theme is Doing It New Orleans. We're going to be playing some traditional New Orleans by Trombone Shorty.
Hey, Hurricane is a traditional New Orleans drink. Am I not right about that? All right, thanks a lot. We appreciate your time tonight. Coming up later, we'll preview the 3 classes that aren't here tonight. But next, we'll talk with Hoover head coach Josh Niblett, who will try to lead the Bucks to the state championship game for the 8th straight year. Stay with us. The Hoover Buccaneer Marching Band under the direction of Ryan Fitchpatrick. Ryan, I mentioned it's a big band. How many members do you have, and what is the theme of our halftime show?
I'm Ryan Fitzpatrick. I'm the director of the Hoover High School Band. Behind you is the Buccaneer Marching Band of 310 strong. We're excited about this year. Our theme is the Buccaneer Pirates will take the field. So we're looking forward to supporting the Bucs. Taking care of business.
All right, thank you very much, Ryan. Great job by your band tonight. Now, the other schools here tonight might not agree that we saved the best for last, but the fact of the matter is Hoover has won back-to-back-to-back state titles in the state's largest class. Athletic Association history. Welcome Josh Niblett now, the head coach of the Hoover Buccaneers since 2008. Josh, I noticed a lot of guys in that video are gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got some guys you need to replace, don't you?
Well, first of all, to God be the glory to have all the success that we've been able to have. We've been blessed with great players and great coaches, great support staff, and it's not, we've had a lot of great players come through, but we try to build a culture that every year, some of the strings and some of the threads change, but you want to make sure we stay tight-knit in what we're doing. So when we lose a couple, then we got to make sure we're able to replace them as strong as ever. So that's kind of what we're doing right now.
You lost your first 2 last year, and everybody wanted to bury you, and then you bounced back and you ran the table. Is that something that you preach to your guys every day in practice about resilience? Do you coach that?
Well, I think the key is leadership. We talk about leadership every year, and I think the key last year is we had some guys that had to learn how to be leaders. We had guys that could make plays, but there's a difference in making plays and being leaders, and that's on the field and off the field. That's when guys look up to you in certain situations of the game when things maybe aren't going your way. There's a guy they look to, and once our seniors learned how to lead a little bit more last year, I think those 2 games are what made our season last year. And this group that we've got here, I'm excited about them. Our motto this year has been to, who's got your 6, and who's got your back. And every day we go to practice, it's all we talk about. And I think the greatest thing about it is this is a tight-knit group, you know, and this is a group that loves to be around each other. So I'm excited about it. We've kind of reinvented ourselves, and we've asked for a better version of ourselves every day.
All right, good luck this season, Josh. Jeff Speegle is joined now by a couple of the Hoover Buccaneers. Jeff, tell us about who you have.
Yeah, Mike, we have linebacker Jeremiah Moon here and also quarterback Cris Vacarella. Cris will be making his first start as the Hoover Bucks quarterback this weekend. Cris, how big of a responsibility is that, not only on the field, but off the field?
It's a huge responsibility because being a starter, there's a lot of people out there that want to be in your shoes that aren't, and they want to tear you down and drag you down, so that's it.
And Jeremiah, you've got 3 out-of-state opponents, Oakland, Tennessee, Manatee, Florida, Blackman, Tennessee. How exciting is that to represent your team and represent your state in those big games?
It's always exciting. We're just trying to come together and
Mike, when you're talking about legacy, the Hoover Bucks have 40 straight wins against in-state opponents.
That's incredible, and they're looking to go back to back to back to back. Unbelievable. Hoover's the program that the other 7A schools in the state measure themselves by. They're the standard, and with that comes a certain mystique, but you can bet that the other top teams won't be intimidated. Here's Joe Whelan.
If Hoover fails to repeat as 7A state champs, that will definitely go down as a surprise. But it won't come close to the surprise that Oak Mountain was in 2014. The Eagles opened the fall ranked 5th in the state after setting school records for points scored and wins. Warren Shader is back under center, but after rushing for 3,000 yards as a team last season, Oak Mountain is in search of a new backfield.
This is a new year, it's a new group, and they've got to learn to make their own mark. They've got to establish their own legacy for that group following up after them.
While Oak Mountain set its scoring records on the ground, Gadsden City most definitely did it through the air. Nearly 500 points in a trip to the state semifinals was a banner year, but the Titans are hoping it's just an appetizer.
Quarterback Ahmad Doremus is back, and so is an arsenal of talented receivers, which means another region championship definitely on the table. Spain Park, the Jaguars are just hoping to get back to the playoffs. A 6-4 record in 2014 fell well short of the program's lofty standards. The pressure of getting back to the top may rest with new quarterback Joey Beatty.
I think we're really motivated to get to the playoffs since we didn't last year. And since me as a senior, I really want to make it to the playoffs. And me being my only year, I would really like to.
Spain Park wasn't the only surprise team sitting at home in November. Vestavia Hills down at 3-7, even as Buddy Anderson became the state's winningest coach. Expect him to add to that win total quite a bit in 2015. What Vestavia lacks in speed, it will more than make up for with toughness and a strong run game. Hewitt-Trussville, Mountain Brook, and Tuscaloosa County all receive votes, but don't quite crack the top 10 to start the fall. Central Phoenix and Prattville figure to be the Bucks challengers. Murphy and all start the season ranked as well.
Thank you, Joe. Coming up next, we'll preview the 3 classes that are not represented here tonight, but right now, here are the Hoover Buccaneer cheerleaders.
H-O-O-V-E-R, we are Hoover. V-E-R, we are Hoover. H-O-O-V-E-R, we are Hoover. We are Hoover. Let's go Hoovers. Let's go Hoovers. Let's go Hoovers. Let's go Hoover.
Continue to count down to the start of the 2015 season. Maplesville opens a week from Friday against Billingsley. LEEDS opens this Friday versus Madison Academy in Montgomery. CLAY-CHALKVILLE Saturday at Black and Hoover. I want to give you the schedule for the state's most comprehensive coverage of high school football. More than 4 hours on 2 channels every Friday night. We'll start this Friday with the Blitz on ABC 3340 for the entire regular season and the playoffs. And for the next 10 weeks of the regular season, in addition to the Blitz, we'll have Blitz Game Day live from 6:30 to 7 on My 68, followed by the Rivals Game of the Week at 7. Now, not represented here tonight are classes 2A, 3A, and 5A. And maybe next year, when we do the preview show, we will have 7 state champions from our viewing area. Here's Joe Whelan.
Defending champ St. Paul is the heavy favorite once again in 5A, but if Pleasant Grove is going to make a play at the top, they'll need a big fall from their top playmaker.
He has such versatility. I mean, he's a great receiver. He's a great running back. He has the potential to be a great quarterback. So he has a lot of different things that you can work into your offense.
Miles Mason has already done enough to catch the eye of Alabama and Auburn. And when he doesn't have the ball, quarterback Terry Stewart will make sure the Spartans' other top perimeter threats are well taken care of.
At Calera, a bit of a catch-22 for the 10th-ranked Eagles. All-state punter Zach Gaines is back, but to head coach Wiley McKellar, punt is a four-letter word, particularly for an offense that averaged over 40 points per game last season.
All-state running back Shakeith Tyas is gone, but his production doesn't have to be.
We're going to have a guy named Kyle Harrell running the ball, replacing Shakeith Tyas, who had a tremendous career here. Kyle brings something to the table we haven't had, and that's somebody with some breakaway speed.
We have one timeout. That means we got to get up.
Etowah is on the rise, 6-5 a year ago, but the Blue Devils will start the season in the top 10 this fall, thanks to the return of not one, but 3 All-State performers, including running back Paul Ruiz, back to lead the offense. The pollsters also high on Jackson and J.O. Johnson to make some noise this fall. Madison County and Calera both cracked the top 10 early after 10-win seasons in 2014. In 2A, Fife is king, but far from a lock to repeat. At Cleveland, All-State quarterback Peyton Gilliland is back to lead the Panthers, who set a program record with 9 wins in 2014.
You know, the expectations have changed, and you know, we've raised our expectations from last year. You know, we want to make a little bit deeper run than what we made last year.
That schedule won't be easy. A home date with 10th-ranked Gaston awaits in Week 10. The Bulldogs rebounded from a slow start to reach the second round of the playoffs last season, but 3 All-State performers were lost to graduation. Well, things are definitely spread out at the top, with Elba and Tanner both earning a heavy share of the votes. Pickens County just 2 years removed from a
Thank you, Joe. And a quick look at the team other than defending champ Madison Academy to get a vote. They're led by Ben Davis, the top inside linebacker in the nation. Count on Piedmont to be strong again. Steve Smith has made the Bulldogs a perennial contender. And toward the bottom of the top 10, our area teams could make a deep run into the playoffs. I'm talking about Walter Welborn and Oakman. It's time now to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank the teams. I want to thank the bands. I want to thank the cheerleaders, the schools, and all the administrators who helped make this show a possibility. Let's hear it for Maplesville. Let's hear it for LEEDS. Let's hear it for CLAY-CHALKVILLE. And let's hear it for the Hoover Bucks. Good luck this season, and we'll let the Hoover Band take us home. We'll see you this Friday night for the Blitz, ABC 3340 at 10:20. Be careful, everybody.
Friday Night Blitz. The field assemble Friday at C 3340.